A few years ago, I bought a large grouping of comic books, and I bought it for a reason we'll get into later specifically. But sometimes you have to get the good with the bad, and that was always my motto when I ran a nightclub in Georgetown. We used to take inventory of bottles of booze, and if it was less than a tenth of a bottle, somebody had to drink it because you didn't want it to on the inventory. And if you got the wild turkey, that's great. If you got the grenadine sauce, that sucks. So I laugh and say, I bought a large lot of comics, and I knew there would be some great ones in there, and I knew there would not be so good of ones in there. So I had 18 of these boxes shipped down to me. That's what I bought. And I haven't opened them in I don't know how many years. So we're going to open this here live so we can see what's in it. We don't have any scissors in our warehouse, do we, Allison? And we're seeing, look at that. When you look at things, generally the first ones in the series are rarer. People tended to throw them away. They didn't collect them. We talked about that before in Christmas ornaments, and we're talking about it now in comics. And the other thing you need to look for in comics is, did we introduce somebody new that ended up being famous? Often new characters would spawn out of old comic series. So that was quite common, and if you really wanted to collect the beginning of somebody like the Silver Surfer, he would have appeared in an earlier comic edition. Something that clues you off immediately to how old they are is how much do they cost. So I'm always looking to see what number is it in the series, how much did it cost, and start cluing in on how old it is. And generally, you don't see the year of a comic book till you open the cover and look at the fine print on the inside. This one's older. It's in kind of nice shape. It's a little bit rough on the front over here, but it looks like a carryover from World War II, but a little bit later, maybe Vietnam. Sergeant Fury. And as I said, you can open up the inside, and that's when you start finding out the details that it has down in here. Yes, it is a Vietnam era comic. They started with a lot of GI action type of stuff in World War II and anti-propaganda, and so Vietnam, it was still going on. This is kind of wrinkled down here, which is going to hold down its value a little bit. But it says in here that Sergeant Fury is published by Marvel Comics, which is now part of Disney, but it doesn't say that in here. 1975, Volume 1, number 127. So 127 means it's been going for a while. It's the 127th issue in Volume 1, and it has the date and the fine print on the inside. I kind of looked at this as an opportunity to learn about comic books. I mean, when I started collecting comic books, well, not real collecting, when I started getting an interest in leaving the corporate world and coming over to the dark side of collecting, and comic books is something you can't ignore knowing about. And so I'll never be an expert on comic books, but I'm knowledgeable enough to be dangerous. And I thought if I bought, I don't know how many comic books are in here, but let's say there's 5,000 in total, that I certainly could become knowledgeable about comic books. And so I have learned a lot. I'm going to continue to learn a lot, and we're going to sell all these. We'll probably sell them one by one or in groupings, but it's something that's easy to list. You get plastic bags and a cardboard backing to put them in, pack them up, ship them in the mail, and they're gone. And so for me, it was designed to be a learning experience that would more than pay for getting what I wanted. I can see like a lot of things that got out of hand that I bought. And so I do have 5,000 comic books to sell. But you know what? It's good learning.